Hi, it's me JD and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you some tips, tricks, and techniques for working with alcohol inks. This will be a great introduction or 101 to alcohol inks if you're a beginner or just new to this medium. Personally, I am loving using alcohol inks for really vivid, intense backgrounds. I mean, what's not to love? There's inks, there's alcohol. Not that kind of alcohol. There's blending tools, there's foils, and even a cake spinner. We'll get into that in a little bit. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and we'll jump right into the world of alcohol inks. And as you can see, this is how I store my inks in this fun padded little zipper pouch thing. I also make swatches and attach those to the tops of the alcohol ink bottles just so I can reach for the color I want really quickly. Next up, you'll need some Yupo paper. They come in, smaller packs and large paper pads like this. Glossy paper works as well. And then you'll need some alcohol ink blending solution. Mine is from Ranger. Then you'll need some fun tools to help move your alcohol ink around on your surface. You can use a blending tool, paintbrushes, straw. I have an air puffer thing that's meant to get the dust off your camera, for example. Next up, you'll want to protect your work surface, and a regular cutting mat just won't do. That will stain. Alcohol ink also stains my media mat and oven liners as well. So the best solution for this is to use some sort of glass board or mat like the one I have here. I also like to wear gloves to protect my hands from staining, as alcohol ink pretty much gets anywhere you at least expect it to. So if you don't want to ruin your manicure, then I recommend, a cheap pair of gloves. And if you're extra clumsy like I am, you can also lay down a piece of plastic underneath your glass mat. With alcohol ink and Yupo paper, the alcohol ink spreads if you blow any kind of air on it, and it might get, airborne. So it might splatter on surfaces you don't want it to. So my first tip for you for using alcohol inks is I like to buy the big pad and then cut the pieces down to size. For beginners, this is a great way to practice your skills and techniques before moving on to other non-porous surfaces, such as canvas or glass. And even though Yupo paper is on the pricier side, you can also work on the back of it without any bleed through, which is great. So it's great for swatching and just doing some practice drops to get the hang of alcohol inks. Since I primarily make cards, cutting them down to a smaller size saves me time, as I have a bunch of different backgrounds to save for future cards, and it was a great way to test out what color combinations really worked well together. Alright, now it's time to start playing with these alcohol inks. One tip for you to get the alcohol ink moving is to place your paper on a clipboard or an artboard. This will allow you to help tip the paper in any direction you want it to, if you want to do like a drip effect. Kind of like gravity do the work for you. Another way to get the ink moving is to use an air puffer like I do, or you can blow on it with a straw. Tilt the clipboard up if you want to. Alcohol ink is really just about play and the art process. You really truly never know what the end result is going to be. As I've tried before, you can't really replicate your results. And here I'm adding some blending solution, and blending solution is the alcohol ink as water is to watercolor. It lightens it, helps like almost reactivate it, and also helps get the ink moving as well. If you want to blend and mix your alcohol ink colors, then I find it best if you let your layer of alcohol ink dry a little. So you really want to work in layers, drop some drops, let it dry for a little bit, then put an additional layer of alcohol ink. And as you can see with the pink and blue, I'm slowly moving it towards the center, and it creates this beautiful bright purple color in the middle. If you want really vibrant, intense color, then don't add as much blending solution, but if you want a more subdued and light color, then feel free to add some blending solution to this. I felt like these colors were so pretty that it didn't need a whole lot of blending solution. Unlike this next technique where I do want a lot of blending solution because I want to create a sort of light wash similar to watercolors, only with alcohol inks. So I'm putting some drops on my surface, then I'm gonna swipe back and forth with my paintbrush. I always designate 2 or 3 paintbrushes to be specifically used for alcohol inks. And then I'm just adding some blending solution on and going back and forth to help blend those colors and get a really nice gradient from this nice teal turquoise color to a really light blue color. If your alcohol ink results are looking a little bit too light or you used too much blending solution, no worries. Just let your project dry a little. Alcohol inks typically take 10 to 15 seconds to dry, and then go back and add another layer on there. Alcohol inks are really forgiving in that way, where it's rarely a total throwaway even if you do mess up. Now, if you really want to have some fun, then try using a cake spinner or cake decorator or some kind of lazy Susan. I had this cheap one in my garage and I thought, oh my gosh, I saw a YouTube video by, I think it was Miriam's Nature, where she used a cake spinner, and I was like, that's genius. So I decided to incorporate that here. If you're looking for really advanced techniques, then I would recommend her, Tim Holtz, Jennifer McGuire. They make great videos on alcohol inks as well. I'm just covering the surface in saran wrap. I realized that it's already stained and messed up, but I thought, why make it worse? So I'm just taping down the saran wrap with extra painter's tape, and now we are ready to start spinning. And why a cake spinner is effective in alcohol ink is that if you like to blow through a straw for your alcohol inks or use an air puffer, then you know that you have to get at the alcohol ink at weird angles, or you don't want to have to lean over the entire time to get the alcohol ink moving in the direction you want to go in, or perhaps you don't want to repeatedly pick up your project and then risk smudging it that way because you have to move your paper. I find that the Lazy Susan definitely helps with the hand cramps, helps with the neck cramps. I'm not leaning over. I can move the paper project easily in whatever direction I need it to be in. And it's fun. Let's face it, it's just fun. Whee! And it should go without saying, definitely designate a Lazy Susan or cake spinner as purely an art prop, not meant to put any editable food on there ever again. Another safety warning for you, always work in a ventilated area. Alcohol ink does have a distinctive smell, and the fumes, it's just not good if you're like constantly up in there for a long time with no ventilation, if you know what I mean. Another fun technique is to add foil to your alcohol ink background. Some parts, like some of the veins created with alcohol inks, are somewhat sticky for a while. So you can burnish a piece of Deco foil. Deco foil is one of my favorites, and put it pretty side up, and those sticky parts will stick to parts of the foil, leaving you with this really interesting background where it's like half alcohol ink with little glimmers and glints of foil, which is really spectacular to look at in real life. Another benefit to having a Lazy Susan or cake spinner for alcohol ink use is that you can make 360-degree swipes. So I'm taking I think it's like an icing swiper, and I'm putting a piece of felt over top, just securing it with one of my hair ties. And then I'll drop some alcohol ink onto this swiper. I really don't know the name of it, but so I'm going to call it a swiper. Once all of my colors are on there, I'm going to place it on to my project on one edge of the paper and then spin my Lazy Susan, and you can watch the magic happen. That was so easy to do, so easy. And I decided to do another layer, but the orange and yellow weren't working for me, so I'm going to go back and add a deeper shade of those two, and now it's really starting to blend and come together, and it took maybe 20 seconds to create this awesome background, and it looks like I worked really hard on it, but I really didn't. So that would make for really cool suns or rainbows or just any kind of background like that. Another fun way to use your alcohol inks is to use it on acetate. Now, I have a really thicker piece of acetate, which I think works best. And then I'll do the same as before. I'll put some drops down onto the surface, and since it's non-porous, it works the same. And the result you get is a translucent but still vivid color of alcohol ink. If you're a card maker or you just like doing paper crafts, then this kind of technique would work great for window cards or shaker elements. Another fun way to step this up is to use metallic mixatives. For this, you'll want to shake up the bottle really good, like at least in like 10 seconds to get all of the mixatives, well, mixed. And then it works similar to alcohol ink itself. You just put a few drops on your surface. You can move it around if you want to. You can even just mix it up with your alcohol ink with a paintbrush if you desired as well. And if you already have a stash of pre-made alcohol ink backgrounds, then you can go back and add some interest to them with some of these next techniques. So what I did is I took some blending solution and I poured some out in my little ring holder, and then I'm going in with a stylus and just making little drops. What this does is that reactivates the alcohol ink and creates this like bubble effect. You can make the bubbles as large or as small as you want to. The stylus lets me control how much blending solution I have on there, which in turn lets me control how opaque or large or small I want the bubble to be. I saw that technique from Miriam. And then another fun technique is to use a paintbrush with the same blending solution and create little clouds like I'm doing here. I used to do this with Distress Oxide ink and water. And so same effect. You just want to use blending solution and alcohol ink backgrounds. And you can pretty much draw or write anything you need to in your background. So definitely think of different shapes you can make with your paintbrush or perhaps a blending tool like I'm using here. I'm putting a felt pad on my blending tool and then putting some blending solution on that. And then I'm going for this bokeh, boko, bada bing bo effect. I don't know how you pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about, with where it's like a light or a photography effect, and it looks really pretty. You just gotta work with it a little, be patient, and you'll get this really nice effect of bokeh. Next up, I've discovered that you can totally do masking with alcohol ink. At first I tried it with regular painter's tape, but that kind of failed. It bled through for me. So next I tried it with craft vinyl, adhesive craft vinyl. I have a whole nother video on that. I'll link it down below or somewhere. And I thought it would work great for alcohol ink since it's a really strong adhesive, but it's still removable. So I die cut my sentiment and I'm burnishing this vinyl on there as much as possible so there's no bleeding whatsoever. Now I'm just dropping my alcohol inks on there, getting my trusty Lazy Susan out. I'll start dropping more colors on here, and I really saturate this thing because I wanted to test out if vinyl would hold up to this much alcohol ink. And another tip for you, if you're finding that alcohol ink is not going where you want it to go, you can just drop a few drops on your glove, your plastic glove or rubber glove, and then just kind of dot it on there, and that'll help fill in some of those empty spots. And if you're being really chintzy, just use a different finger for each different color that you're using. Now it's time for the peel reveal, and it's, well, not exactly smooth, but so far so good. It's working, and you can see how well it worked. There is no bleed through whatsoever, and I dropped a bunch of ink on this surface. So that creates for a nice one layer project if you want to use masking. Another way to use masking is to mask off a portion of your already made alcohol ink background so that whatever under the craft vinyl will be trapped. So I die cut out a heart and I'm burnishing this into my Yupo paper as much as I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'll go in with some blending solution, and with my blending tool I'm going to dab that over the boundary or the border of the heart. And what that is going to do is going to lighten up all of those areas. I wanted to create this really pretty like halo effect with the heart. And so I'm hoping this works. So I'm just adding more and more blending solution. The more blending solution you add, the lighter your results are going to be. You also don't necessarily need a blending tool. I also poured some blending solution onto my finger with a rubber glove and then just really got into the detailed areas. Using your finger will help you get into those small areas where you need to be a little bit more precise. And now as I'm adding the last of the blending solution, I'm going to go back in with my air puffer to help dry all of this up. And now it's time for another peel reveal. And this one does not go as smoothly either, but the results are just fantabulous. The vinyl worked as I thought it would, as I hoped it would. It trapped the original alcohol ink background and left a really pretty shape and really cool effect. I am so using this effect for future projects. Now on to another fun technique. If you happen to come across this alcohol ink blending pen, then you can write whatever you want to on your alcohol ink backgrounds. So I filled the pen with some alcohol ink, then I let it lay flat as the directions say for about 15 minutes so the alcohol ink spreads to both of the brush nib ends. And now I'm just going to write and hand letter a greeting onto my project, and it is easy as that. Now another tip for cleanup, if you're working with a glass surface, you just pour some blending solution onto your surface and it'll clean up like it never even happened. And so that's the beauty of alcohol ink. It might stain your fingers, it might stain your clothes, but if you're working with glass, it cleans up like a dream. So what do you guys like most about using alcohol inks? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and be sure to stick around for the next video.